Welcome back to our series on the history of light. Professor Franz here. Now we've come to the point in this presentation when we enter the 1800s. In the 19th century industrial era, there will be an amazing series of light innovations. Starting small, there was an improved wick. The wick string was already a braided string, but the wick still needed frequent trimming, and special scissors were made for this. Wicks could create a lot of unwanted smoke, and the wick's flame could become too large and melt away your candle. Or the wick could gutter or tunnel and put out your flame. But in the 1830s and 40s, candle makers in America and in Europe learned to braid the wick more tightly on one side, causing the burning wick to curve over at the top. This caused the burn part to naturally burn off instead of needing trimming, and this curve created a perfect-sized flame, with no big flame quickly melting the candle. Another small in size invention was the safety match. In 1826, John Walker in England was doing an experiment in his lab with a stick coated with various chemicals, including antimony sulfide and potassium chlorate. He scraped it against his wooden floor to remove a glob of a certain chemical, and it burst into flame. Well, that was interesting. He then sold small fire sticks in his pharmacy, but he failed to patent the invention. So in 1829, Samuel Jones copied his invention and set up a match business in London. He called the sticks lucifers, associating the devil with fire. Now, was that a great marketing decision to name them lucifers? I don't know. But they usually worked pretty well, though they were known for their very foul smell. The French chemist Charles Sauria improved on the match in 1830 using primarily white phosphorus, and soon there were many match factories, often using the labor of women and children. But white phosphorus was very poisonous to work with, resulting in serious health issues and death among the workers. It could produce a medical condition known as phossy jaw. A very sad story. The Diamond Match Company was the first to make a non-poisonous match using red phosphorus in the United States in 1910, and they graciously and humanely set aside their patent rights so that all the competitors could switch to the non-poisonous kind of match. This ended the hazardous job, but only after 80 years. Lots of women and children died for the convenience of striking a match. In the Industrial Revolution, safety reforms came very slowly. Soon there were matchbooks with an outside striking surface and with advertising. Many businesses gave away matchbooks as a marketing tool, which a lot of us still remember, right? At certain businesses, there were matchbooks to grab in ashtrays or other places with their company logo, like in restaurants. Today, just in America, more than 500 billion matches are struck every year. In the 19th century, there was also a lot of progress with mineral fuels, with a fuel-based engine that replaced the steam engines. From petroleum, the German chemist Karl Reichenbach made paraffin in 1830. So now people didn't have to be rendering all kinds of animal fats for tallow candles. As well, the paraffin candles didn't have that animal tallow odor. They were also much cleaner, and effective mineral fuels developed that replaced whale oil, especially with kerosene developed by 1850 by Abraham Gessner, a Canadian geologist. It came from distilled coal, and it was a perfect oil for a lamp, and the kerosene lamp business took off. Kerosene and paraffin really saved the whales. replacing whale oil as a major fuel for oil lighting and replacing those spermaceti candles. Kerosene would remain a fuel in many homes for a long time. The Coleman Company put out their kerosene lamps starting in 1914. Okay, now we come to one of the big changes to lighting, gas lighting. Not gasoline, but what we would call today natural gas. William Murdoch from Scotland was the main person who popularized gas lighting in the first decade of the 1800s. Murdoch experimented with coal gas. Coal was heated in an airtight oven, producing a coal gas combining methane, hydrogen, and carbon monoxide. It was called coal gasification. To store the gas, he used a network of iron pipes that led to these airtight ovens. Gasworks factories piped gas to factories and homes. So instead of the wick being the fuel, and the wax or tallow the holder and base, now the pipe was the holder, and the gas performed what the wick did earlier, being what was consumed by the flame. The gas lighting required a gas business near you, so don't get your hopes up in rural settings. This was for the larger cities, then gradually to the smaller cities and towns. Many entrepreneurs created these gas factories to bring gas lighting to factories, businesses, and street lamps, and for homes. The Pelham street lamp was the first one lit in 1805 at Newport, Rhode Island, and this was the oldest gas street light in America. Now, gas lighting had nice advantages, like adjusting the size and width of the flame, and no more trimming the wick and candle and replacing the candles. Gas lighting was safer from fire, especially in the many textile mills where hundreds of candles were supplying their light for night shifts. Now, remember urban nightlife? With gas lighting, shop windows became a big selling point at night, where the gas lighting offered a particularly winsome glow on various wares that were attractively displayed. And gas pipes into the homes and businesses also led to gas heating and cooking. Overall, the gas industry greatly modernized cities. But there were negatives, like a fuel odor in the air. If a room wasn't ventilated well, the flames consumed a lot of the oxygen so that people would get headaches. In this picture from the Times, everyone is complaining of not being able to breathe and the terrible fumes, while the joker on the wire is bragging on the profits of the gas company. Gas could leave soot and acid residue that could mar fabric and wallpaper. And then there were the explosions of gaswork companies of pipes, not just a few times. You didn't want to live near one. But also they were environmentally toxic. Nothing would grow around them, and there was that fuel smell. Some gas manufacturers claimed that the smell of gas was good for you. Oh my, but not many people believed that. From the 1810s to the 1880s, that was the era of gas lighting, about 2 generations. Now, have you noticed what has happened with light since the 1600s? Through most of history, light was completely in the hands of the individual and family. But with city street lanterns from the 1600s and forward, city governments began to be providing light as a service paid by taxes. Light was changing hands, even more so with gas lights, as all came from gas businesses with a bill. Light had become a commercial commodity. Okay, time for a break. In our last episode coming, in early Western Civ 2, we finally journey into the time of electric lights, and I can't wait to tell you about them. Thanks very much. Take care.